Welcome to Hollywood Secrets Information. In this video, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and lesser-known corners of classic cinema, the hidden gender stories of old Hollywood. Behind the glamour, fame, and flashing lights, there were celebrities whose real-life identities and journeys were far more complex than the world ever knew. These are the 17 celebrities who were born male in old Hollywood, yet defied the norms, shaped the entertainment world, and proved that identity goes far beyond appearances. 1. Christine Jorgensen. We begin with one of the most famous names associated with gender transition in the 20th century, Christine Jorgensen. Born George William Jorgensen Jr. in the Bronx, New York, Christine grew up during a time when gender identity wasn't even discussed openly. After serving in World War II, she traveled to Denmark in 1951 to undergo one of the earliest publicized gender reassignment surgeries. When she returned to America, her story made headlines worldwide. Jorgensen became a symbol of courage and transformation, transitioning from a soldier to a glamorous actress, singer, and public speaker. Her fame shook Hollywood, forcing people to acknowledge gender identity long before it became part of mainstream dialogue. 2. Coccinelle. Next is Coccinelle, the stage name of Jacqueline Charlotte Dufresnoy, born male in Paris in 1931. Though mainly a French star, her fame reached Hollywood during the 1950s and 1960s. Coccinelle was born Jacques Dufresnoy and later became a celebrated actress and showgirl. Her openness about her gender identity was revolutionary, especially during a time when the entertainment industry thrived on secrecy. She starred in films and cabaret shows that stunned audiences with her beauty and grace. In 1960, Coccinelle's marriage was legally recognized in France, a groundbreaking moment for trans rights worldwide. Hollywood producers often tried to emulate her charm in American cinema, making her a quiet inspiration for many gender nonconforming stars. 3. Candy Darling. One of Andy Warhol's most mesmerizing muses, Candy Darling was born James Lawrence Slattery in Queens, New York. She transitioned during the 1960s, an era when old Hollywood's glamour was fading and new forms of fame were rising. Candy starred in underground films like Flesh and Women in Revolt, where she radiated classic Hollywood charm reminiscent of icons like Marilyn Monroe. Though she lived a short life, Darling represented a bridge between old Hollywood glamour and modern gender freedom. Her legacy endures as a symbol of artistic bravery and identity. 4. April Ashley. April Ashley was born George Jameson in Liverpool, England, but her career and influence extended to Hollywood in the 1960s. She modeled, acted, and mingled with celebrities like Elvis Presley and Ava Gardner. Her transition became public in 1961 when a British newspaper cruelly outed her. Yet instead of vanishing, April became a pioneer for transgender visibility. She later appeared in Hollywood productions and influenced a generation of stylists, makeup artists, and actors who admired her courage and sophistication. That April's journey from a working-class boy to a Hollywood beauty remains one of the most inspiring stories of identity in film history. 5. Roberta Cowell. Roberta Cowell was born Robert Marshall Cowell in London, but her story intertwined with Hollywood's fascination for war heroes and glamour queens. A fighter pilot during World War II, she later transitioned and became the first known British trans woman to undergo gender-affirming surgery. Though her film career was short, her story captivated Hollywood circles in the 1950s. Studios and stars whispered about the pilot-turned-actress, admiring her bravery in a world still ruled by rigid gender expectations. That Cowell's legacy is not in blockbusters, but in breaking the silence surrounding gender transition in the early film community. 6. Mariette Pathy Allen. Before she became an acclaimed photographer documenting gender identity, Mariette Pathy Allen dabbled in acting and modeling within the fringes of the Hollywood scene during the late 1950s. Born Martin Allen, she transitioned later in life and used her art to humanize trans and gender nonconforming individuals. While her direct Hollywood fame was brief, her early presence in modeling circles inspired makeup artists and stylists who worked in classic film sets. Her work later reshaped how Hollywood visualized identity and authenticity on screen. 7. The Lady Chablis, though she gained fame slightly later, the Lady Chablis was deeply influenced by old Hollywood aesthetics. Born Benjamin Edward Knox in Florida, she embodied the charm and elegance of golden age actresses like Bette Davis and Mae West. Her breakthrough came from Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, 1997, where she played herself a glamorous, bold, and unapologetically authentic woman. She carried the old Hollywood spirit of transformation, charisma, and confidence that defined the silver screen. 8. Holly Woodlawn, born Geraldo Santiago Franceschi Rodriguez Dan Hackle. Holly Woodlawn was part of Andy Warhol's superstar circle, but her love for 1950s Hollywood defined her persona. She transitioned during her teenage years, inspired by the Hollywood actresses she idolized. Appearing in films like Trash and Women in Revolt, Holly became a cult figure, a glamorous echo of old Hollywood in a new age of rebellion. Her confidence paved the way for others to express gender identity openly, even when mainstream cinema hesitated. 9. Renee Richards, born Richard Raskind, was not a movie star, but a professional tennis player who caught Hollywood's attention in the 1970s. After transitioning, she became a media icon, inspiring films, documentaries, and even television adaptations in Hollywood. Richard's story brought transgender identity into popular culture, long before acceptance became common. She challenged societal norms, both on the court and in the public eye, embodying the courage admired by classic film heroes. 10. Tracy Norman, born Lloyd Norman, worked as a model in the 1970s and early 1980s, the tail end of Hollywood's golden fashion connection. Her striking look landed her magazine covers and beauty campaigns. When it was revealed that she was transgender, her modeling opportunities vanished, reflecting the harsh double standards of the time. Yet, decades later, Tracy's story resurfaced, inspiring both Hollywood and the fashion world to reevaluate its views on gender and beauty. She represents the resilience of those who refuse to let identity define or limit their success. 11. Bambi, born Stephen Lake. Bambi was a performer and cabaret artist whose career spanned both Hollywood and San Francisco's theater scenes. She was admired for her old Hollywood glamour. Often styled like the screen sirens of the 1930s, Bambi appeared in small film roles and became a muse for photographers, representing a time when gender identity met cinematic fantasy. Her name itself, Bambi, symbolized the delicate beauty and strength that defined her life story. 12. Romy Haag, born Edward Haag, is a Dutch-German performer who found herself drawn to Hollywood's allure in the late 1960s. Known for her exotic looks and cabaret charm, she influenced stars like David Bowie, who admired her androgynous beauty. Hollywood filmmakers and photographers often referenced her style, blending gender fluidity with cinematic glamour. Though she never became a mainstream film star, her magnetic presence captured the essence of Hollywood's fascination with transformation and mystery. 13. Caroline Cassie, born Barry Kenneth Cassie in England. Caroline Cassie, also known as Tula, became one of the first transgender women to appear in a James Bond film, For Your Eyes Only, 1981. Her modeling career and Hollywood breakthrough redefined what beauty could mean. When tabloids outed her, Caroline fought back with dignity and became an advocate for transgender rights in entertainment. Though slightly past the golden age, her style, grace, and screen presence were pure old Hollywood, elegant, poised, and powerful. 14. Lily Elba, our final and perhaps most groundbreaking name. Lily Elba. Born Einar Magnus Andreas Wegener, Lily was a Danish painter whose story became one of the earliest recorded cases of gender transition. While not a Hollywood actress herself, her life directly inspired the 1930s and later films exploring identity and transformation. Her courage to live as herself in an era of complete intolerance influenced generations of filmmakers, culminating in The Danish Girl, 2015, which traced her journey from painter to pioneer. Lily's influence lingered in Hollywood's storytelling DNA long before it became safe to discuss gender openly. Old Hollywood was built on illusion, dazzling lights, carefully crafted identities, and perfect appearances. Yet behind that shimmering curtain, real people were struggling, transforming, and redefining what it meant to be themselves. These 17 celebrities, some actors, some models, some simply icons of identity, were born male but chose to live authentically, embracing who they truly were despite a world that often refused to understand. Their courage opened the door for today's discussions about gender equality and acceptance in the entertainment world. The next time you watch a Golden Age film. Remember, behind those sparkling eyes and flawless smiles were people whose true stories were often more fascinating than any script Hollywood could write. Thanks for joining us for this emotional and eye-opening journey into the hidden lives of Hollywood's past. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Hollywood Secrets Information for more true stories, rare insights, and forgotten legends from cinema's golden years. Until next time, keep your lights bright, your hearts open, and your curiosity alive. Thanks for watching.